Attention, attention. Attention, attention, attention. Random, spontaneous Wanderhome character creation incoming. Wasn't planning this at all. But here I am. I want to make a Wanderhome character. I've been reading the source book, and I've read through it twice now because it's like short and sweet. And I want to make a character. Wanderhome is the sort of game that I could see myself playing in a campaign in a group. However, most of my tabletop friends are big mechanics people. Wanderhome, not so much built for that. Also, I'm going to move myself over to the right because I thought I was on the right. What am I doing? Wanderhome, what is it? It's a game. It is a game. It is powered by the apocalypse. It is by J Dragon. It is they use the word pastoral, which I love that word. I feel like I've heard that word once in my entire life. Now I want to hear it every day. It's a pastoral game it's pastoral. It's about having a character and traveling around and just experiencing the world of this game, which is called Haeth. Or Heath. Or Haeth. And it looks really fun. It's just, it combines everything that I love, which is roleplay forward games, traveling games, and small little animal games. I love animals. I love Mouse Guard. I love anything that's like itty bitty borrowers type of thing. Just small stuff, small people. You're wearing an acorn hat? Are you kidding? Oh my god, this guy actually is wearing an acorn hat. I'm sold. I'm buying it. As always, I reserve the right to play this completely wrong, get everything wrong, completely mess everything up. It's my God-given right. And if you want to be fully immersed, I am listening to a playlist just called Wanderhome. I just looked it up on Spotify, Wanderhome, and this playlist popped up. It's nice. So far. And if you don't want to listen to a Wanderhome podcast, the guy keeps saying podcast, playlist, I would also encourage maybe Alan Gogol, who has a bunch of guitar music, and all his songs are most of his songs are based on animal names, and a lot of them, I can't remember the guitar he uses, but he uses a guitar that will sound like different animals. Like, he can make it sound like a frog. It's very cool. Whatever that guitar is. That's if you want to be fully immersed. You don't have to. This is going to be so chill, laid back. Like I said, I've read through this twice, but it's been a couple weeks, and then all of a sudden I was like, I need to make a character right now. I don't know if I'm actually going to play a campaign and record it, or if I'm just going to do character creation, or maybe I will do sort of like the first leg of an adventure and then continue just by myself offline. Wanderhome is not designed to be played solo originally. The creator mentions just very briefly how it can be played solo, and the community, there's really been a community that's like popped up around that. So I found some really cool things. I've got this right here, which is an oracle using tarot, because J Dragon, they mentioned something about using a tarot deck and drawing inspiration from whatever card you pull. So this person made their own oracle using the tarot. I've only read through it once, and it seems like a way to actually play through the game and not just an oracle. It's not just like yes or no. I pick a card and that's what happens. It's a way to build a party, even though you're playing by yourself, and have big things happen to that party depending on what card you pull. So I don't know if I will use this, but I think it's pretty cool. Like, if you pull a major arcana card, somebody might join your party. Somebody of a certain class. Playbook. That's what they're called. Playbook. So I found that. That's cool. I've also found these generators by Joey V on Itch.io. I left this one up because I was just clicking through randomly because I was like, I haven't thought of anything. I haven't thought of a name. I've thought of a couple of playbooks that I think might work, but I haven't decided on one. And I was clicking through, and this one popped up, Milo, which was the name of my first D&D character on my first real campaign, like real campaign that lasted a while, was Milo, the most stereotypical halfling name that you can have. But this does places, so like settings, and it gives you everything that the book tells you to like decide what's in this setting. It does kiths, which are like NPCs. It does playbooks, so if you don't want to decide, we can just roll for a playbook. And it also does animals. Like a random animal shows up. It's a moth, which is pretty cool. So there's those, and then I've also got this. I found this book on Reddit. I stole it. I did steal it. It wasn't available publicly, but this person, it's Kiwi the Bard. That does not look like Kiwi the Bard at all. But that's who made this and posted it on Reddit. Just pictures of these spreads, and I did in fact steal them and made them into a notebook on GoodNotes. Oops. So if you want this, you can't get it from me. That's all I'll say. You can't. I don't have this. It's very fucking cool. Like it's really neat that they did this. I love it a lot. It looks really great. It's got pages for NPCs. It's got the seasons. It's got this phenomena tracker, which is a really cool thing, where each season you ask a certain question or follow a certain prompt, and if the answer is a certain way, you fill one of these in. And if they're all filled in, then a phenomena happens during that season. Very cool. And then I've got just a bunch of blank pages. I think they had more Kiwi the Bard that they didn't post. Like this playbook section is supposed to have playbooks, like each playbook that you can just have and fill out. But because I didn't reach out to them, they haven't posted on Reddit in a long time, so I was like, I don't know if I want to. This is like several years old. I don't know if I would reach out to them. So they would have had like playbooks here and then blank spaces for notes. But I did what I could. I also made a map, which I have the big version. This is Haeth. I didn't do anything as far as adding towns or anything. My very basic idea is wherever I start, it's just going to be in a hexagon. And like that will be the setting. And then each time we move to a new spot, move to a new hexagon. This is, what is that website called? I made this using something. Using sub website. There's not a lot of lore about the land in which Wanderhome takes place, so it was very open-ended. The only thing they do mention is the floating mountains, and there's a king of the floating mountains, and I was like, okay, here's the floating mountains. They're not floating. Bummer. Yeah, this is the world in which we live. And we'll start, I don't know, wherever. It's very, very nondescript. Like, each of these places could mean a million different things. There's like a vague desert, a vague sort of audacious, sort of foresty place. Vague plains, maybe. Vague mountains. Vague hills. Very cool. Actual character creation. Character making. I had a couple ideas for playbooks that I think would be good for a solo person and also a beginning traveler. There's a couple of playbooks, for example, The Fool, where it's like you're getting out on your own for the first time, and the advancements here. This is one of the ones where most of the advancements are like you retire, find a place to live. This is one of the ones where at the end, instead of like retiring or splitting off from the group or whatever, you pick a new playbook. And I thought that would be kind of cool to have a person who you get to pick a new playbook. So the Fool does that. I think the Ragamuffin does that also. Yeah, you've grown up and come into your own. Choose an unused playbook. And then you just transfer whatever you want into that new playbook. There's those two. And then the third one I was thinking was the Poet. Was I just attracted to it because one of the animal options is a toad, and I know that I'm going to play a toad because obviously, maybe. But the Poet is cool because it seems like an easier one. I liked the ones where it was, it just made sense that someone was traveling and you didn't have to think about it too much. The other one like that would be like the Peddler, somebody who's just traveling around selling things. And a Moth Tender is like a shepherd, so you'd be traveling a little bit. That makes sense. And then, or the Moth Tender, I think, is the, like the mail deliverer. And then there's a shepherd. Let me see. Yeah. Wander the land, keeping an eye on moths and their towers. Carrier moths are the ones who deliver mail. That's pretty cool. And of course, I haven't actually decided which one I want. But I don't know if the Ragamuffin would make sense to be alone. Also, I hope I'm explaining this game in a way that just makes it sound like it is. Like, it seems so whimsical and cool, and I'm bad at describing things like that. I'm bad at describing things in general. Let's see, Ragamuffin. Would the Ragamuffin be good to play alone? I don't know, because it sort of seems like the babysat character, and also somebody who's supposed to. Well, I just looked at authority figures cannot be trusted. Could be a runaway. That's kind of a cool idea. Let's see what the Fool's got going on. Spoiled rotten as a kid, make other people happy with prizing secret talent, grow up familiar with chaos. You have a heroic destiny. You have a lot of expectations. Most people don't make sense to you. You had a really upsetting childhood. You cannot remember much about your childhood. I feel like playing like a younger kid is the way to go. I don't want my first character to leave and never come back. Like, if I hit so many advancements that it makes sense for them to just leave and never come back, I'd rather they change into something else. And then they can leave and never come back. Can we talk about Powered by the Apocalypse for a second? I really love Powered by the Apocalypse. I love their advancement system. I love how simple it is. I love how a lot of games will have the prompts that you're supposed to go around and connect your characters with other characters at the start of your game. Every time I hear about Powered by the Apocalypse, I just want to play Monster of the Week. Dang, I love Monster of the Week. I miss that game. I always play the mundane. And a lot of the times, I played Monster of the Week a couple times, and I usually bring out the same character who is the mundane. He would carry around a baseball bat, and he lived in a van. I mean, he sort of lived in a van. Sometimes, depending on the setting, he would live in his van, but also like crash on people's couches sometimes. He was usually an artist, so usually he had painted some sort of mural on the outside of his van. He was just a cool dude. Just a cool dude who got hurt so often. Because he's just a guy. He was just a guy. Man, I like him. His name was also Muddy, which I feel like is burying the lead, because that's a crazy name to have. Muddy. Okay, dude. I'm off the rails. I'm way off the rails. Okay. We're reeling it back in. Moral of the story is powered by the apocalypse. I love you. Okay, I was sort of distracting you to decide which one to do. I feel like the Ragamuffin would be very fun to play as like a kid who's run away and is starting their life on their own. Why did they run away? I don't know. They're just a little frog, a little tadpole. I don't think I can be a tadpole. Bloop, the Ragamuffin. Run, screenplay, steal, and above all, live. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going back to my campaign notebook. We're going to go to the character sheet. I haven't thought of a character name at all. Cool, super cool. But I am going to write Ragamuffin. Don't worry, I'll let you see the notebook as we continue filling it up. Otter, gecko, capuchin, kitten, a cute animal, or a young animal. I feel like just a young frog is the way to go. Wait, is there a name for a young frog? I feel like by the time you're a frog, you're just a frog. I don't think there's an in-between of tadpole. Froglings are still in the water, I think. I think that's what they're called. I'm Googling life stages of a frog. It's going to give me like a second grade graphic. They're not called froglings. They're just called young frogs, and they still have tails. No, this says froglet. Froglet. And this one still says young frog, and he doesn't even have a tail anymore, but he's still called a young frog. I'm going to call him young frog. If he does have a tail, I think maybe that would be cute if he is still young enough to have like a little bit of a tail, and he sort of tucks it in to try and to be like, no, I'm old. I can work. Young frog. I swear that says young. Not a good writer. Not good handwriting. Your care is young, exuberant, and naive. I like that. I like... We gotta play somebody who's very flawed to start with. Because I feel like that gives you more prompts, and it makes it easier for things to mess up. Because I feel like when you're playing alone sometimes, you're just like, oh, this happens, and this happens, and everything sort of works out in the end. And I feel like if you're playing a very flawed character, it's easier to lean towards prompts of like, oh, I messed up, because my character is always messing up. Okay, he's young, exuberant, naive. Choose 2 you are and 2 you refuse to be. Attentive, respectful, adorable, quiet, friendly, smart, scared, a boy, a girl. Okay. So there's a spot here that says describe your personality. So I think that's where we'll put this here. Respectful, I don't think about that. I don't think so. Do. How about friendly? Oh my god, my handwriting. Oh, what a nightmare. I'm gonna fix it before you're allowed to see it. Friendly and smart. I feel like quiet is just sort of putting a damper on ourselves since I'm like playing solo. I'm gonna say smart, but I'm gonna say street smart. Maybe he ran away and has never really been taken care of. And 2 you refuse to be. Adorable for sure. Because what kid likes to be seen as adorable? Not adorable. Refuse to be respectful. Refuse to be quiet. Refuse to be quiet. Hey. He's just like me for real. Oh, maybe refuse to be scared. Because then that brings up a lot of opportunities to try and make him scared. Which is sort of a powered by the apocalypse thing, like testing your character. It's very much like a burning wheel thing. And I mentioned Mouse Guard earlier, where it's like this is what my character is, and then the GM is supposed to be like, oh yeah, we'll see about that. we'll see how long that lasts. These are your morals? Yeah, right, dude. Choose a 3 to 4 to describe your look. Grass-stained jeans, bandages, stuffed animal suspenders, cap that's always worn backwards, awkwardly sized maroon cloak, flowers forever in hand, ocarina, musical kid. Sundress that wishes when you spin, a poke and stick, a stompin' boot, and an overwhelming love for life. My guy does not wear boots. Absolutely not. Bandages, like he always is getting injured. Why do I always play characters who are always just getting hurt? It's usually in a funny way. It's not like a goofy. It's not like a serious like, oh, I'm so pained. But I do play characters who fall down. Stuffed animal, I don't think so. I like the idea of suspenders on a frog. Classic character design. Do. Should we give him an ocarina? Bandages. No to the cap that's always worn backwards. That is funny, but no thanks. Let's give him an ocarina. He's got no poke and stick, which is kind of sad. Could use that as a weapon. Alright, we're saying grass-stained jeans. Bandages and suspenders. And an ocarina. Boy. Alright. Uh-oh. It's all black. Where did it go? Come back to us. Come back to a screen mirror. Splurp. This is what we got so far. The care, which I've just sort of copied. His personality, friendly, street smart, not adorable, and not scared. Refuses to be seen as scared. And then grass-stained jeans, bandages, suspenders, and ocarina. I'm gonna clean up the way this looks. Yikes. My handwriting. Blurp. Alright, choose 2 life lessons you've been taught and 2 you have rejected. What would happen if I... Let's get this a little closer. Can't stop the world from hurting you. Kindness is stronger than anything else. There will come a time when you must fight back. It's better to give a gift than to receive it. Your parents made you who you are now. The world is bigger than you can wrap your head around. Authority figures cannot be trusted. All stories are lies. Your heroes will always let you down. Everything must someday die, and even this will end. Gee. That's a little deep. So the one thing we've established is probably a runaway. But from what? Street smart runaway. Like, maybe his parents taught him, but those vibes don't seem very parent or authority figure forward. At least not in most stories. Life lessons you've been taught until you can't. Interesting. So he's a kid. I still haven't given him a name. Also, I don't know in this world if people typically have last names. Let me click this a few times. See, they don't put last names. I don't think anywhere in the book like a last name was ever mentioned. Which, in a lot of stories that are animal focused, a lot of them don't have last names. Matthias, Menon, Rasmus. Nee. Irina Ralphs. That's a cute name. Ralphs. West. Ragamuffin. What about Roger? That just popped into my head. Roger the Frogger. Finn. None of these are really sticking out. Did you see that last one? It said animal form giraffe. That's wacky. Barbara. Aisha. The flamingo. I think tentatively Roger. I know that was sorry. I was just so distracted by not having a name picked out for him. Tentative Roger. Roger the Ragamuffin. The young frog Ragamuffin. Back to life lessons. What would you reject? See, I don't think there will come a time when you must fight back. I feel like he's probably been scrappy before, so I don't think that's something. That could be something that he's been taught, not something that he's rejected. Well, think about that one. Kindness is stronger than anything else. Boy, I don't know. All stories are lies. Your heroes will always let you down. Everything must someday die. I don't want to make him too sad. Like you could very easily make it like his parents died. And that's why he's run away. Or his parents died, and then he was on the streets for a while. But this doesn't seem like the setting for something that depressing, honestly. You know what's an easy one to say that he's rejected is even this will end. Because I feel like when you're a kid, and he's probably having a grand old time just wandering around and doing his own thing. He's probably like, I'm going to be young forever. I'm going to have the mindsets that I have forever. I'm young and cool. I'm just bopping around. And that's not true. He will grow up. That's an ending for sure. You will grow up. Doodly-doo. So if we've got this one as rejecting, even this will end. And we say there will come a time when you must fight back. And that's something that he's been taught is just sort of sticking up for yourself, fighting for yourself. Or maybe there was a time where he couldn't fight back. Maybe against some sort of figure. And there was an adult in his life who was like, you can't fight now. but someday there will come a time when you have to fight back, but you have to be smart about it. Oh, I kind of like that. Okie dokie, okie dokie. It's better to give a gift than to receive it. If he had that adult that he was looking up to, and sees that person as a hero, then he would probably reject the idea that your heroes will let you down. Because maybe he looked up to that person. Maybe that person died. Maybe it's just like a hero. Okay, so here's the other part of the lore of this world is that it's a time of peace, like big time peace right now, but there was war previously that sort of recently ended. So it's possible that in his home, wherever Roger is from, there was veterans. Veteran is a playbook in Wanderhome. So there is a veteran who sort of took him under his wing for whatever reason. And so maybe he just and then, you know, at some point died for whatever reason. We can figure that out later. But the thought that he had somebody who he looked up to so strongly and who gave him all this advice, for sure he would reject the idea that he would be let down by him. Like he built this guy up on a pedestal. Rejected. Your heroes will always let you down. I need one more life lesson that he's been taught. Do. World is bigger than you can wrap your head around. It's an interesting one. Say no to that one. You can't stop the world from hurting you. Kindness is stronger than anything else. It's better to give a gift than to receive it. All stories are lies is such a funny. it's just a wild one. It's just randomly there. All stories are lies. They're stories, man. Relax. What was this kid taught? I like the easy answer is to say authority figures cannot be trusted because of what we've already established from his backstory. But I feel like that one's already implied by the other things that I've put, so I want to flesh him out a little more in a different way. Would it be a curveball to say the other life lesson that he's been taught is kindness is stronger than anything else? Because maybe he just didn't grow up with a lot. And these people that he looked up to, and in particular this veteran that he looked up to, maybe just showed him a lot of kindness from a young age. And so he does believe that kindness can help anything, or can at least make a situation a little better. I kind of like that. All right, final answer for these ones, and some notes that I've just written about him. The 2 that he's been taught, kindness is stronger than anything else, or can at least make any situation better. And there will come a time when you must fight back, but you need to be smart about it, and you need to be prepared. And he learned that from his hero, the one that he's rejected. The main one he's rejected is your heroes will always let you down. He had some veteran in his hometown that he really looked up to. Sort of pushed him against authority and taught him like the dangers of authority. That guy somehow died. That person somehow died and is still revered by Roger in death. And then the other one he's rejected is Even This Will End. What is this down here? I don't remember what I was writing. He's just going to be young forever. That's those 2. Move on. Choose one that you carry with you openly, and one that you carry secretly. A nervous young paradise mantis, the last of its kind. A necklace with a painting of your birth family on it. Ooh. A pan flute that reveals your heritage from a forgotten and hidden community. He does have an ocarina already. He can be a musical little guy. An encoded scroll that you can't read pressed into your hands by one of the last heroes of the rebellion. Hey, that sort of fits our story. Sorry. That would give him a reason to run away. I'm putting a little star next to this one. We can think about it. Nock, a small and luminescent god that once dwelled in the center of the holiest shrine in all of the Haeth. That's another part of the lore that I didn't mention, is there are gods. And there's some playbooks that were even concerned specifically with gods. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I don't know. The Pilgrim, maybe? Yeah, the Pilgrim. Pilgrim is about like collecting gods and finding like appropriate places for them to rest or to be. So that's kind of cool. That would bring another angle to him. A sort of religious angle that most kids wouldn't have. Because who cares when you're a kid? The capacity to see brief snippets of the future, which always revolve around a mysterious stranger with one white eye. Dreams about a vast and bloody war always centered around a powerful hero. That fits with our narrative so far. The Ring of 99 Vengeful Demons. The greatest treasure of the King of the Floating Mountain. Oh my god, Frodo. That's really funny. The ring. And the Heaven Blade. Lost after slaying the slobbering god that you would never use to hurt another soul. The Heaven Blade. Heaven Blade lost after slaying the slobbering god that you would never use to hurt another soul. Yikes. That's some lore. Big scary sword. Big scary sword. Okay, I definitely think one of the things should be something that his veteran gave him. His veteran friend, who we should probably come up with a name for. We'll do that later. So the options for that would be the encoded scroll that you can't read. The dreams about a vast and bloody war always centered around a powerful hero would be his friend. His hero. The Heaven Blade is possible that this guy gave him this big, vastly important sword. But that one doesn't seem quite right. Seeing brief snippets of the future. That's pretty cool. Nervous young paradise mantis. I like that. I don't know if I like that just because it was it's right here and that's really cute. I love a pet, man. I love a pet. I don't know if I've ever played D&D where my character didn't have or end up with a pet. It's just my thing. It's just my thing. One of my characters had a cockatrice once. Huh? Why? I can't remember how he got that. But he was like a friendly little cockatrice who would catch people on fire. I'm sold. Sold. A nervous young paradise mantis. The last of its kind. I think because that nervous is here, you're supposed to make like a kith card for it. I don't know. Necklace with a painting of your birth family in it. I kind of like the encoded scroll. That gives a lot of opportunity for different stories. I don't think he would have a painting of his birth family. I feel like he probably just doesn't have a family. And this veteran died recently and gave him this. One of the last heroes of the rebellion. Alright, before he died. Probably not while I'm here, but at some point I am going to write just a full, sort of succinct backstory, couple of paragraphs. Or maybe I can pause and do that and come back and read it off to you. Read it to the class. Okay, I think those are the two I'll go for. The one he carries openly is the young paradise mantis, last of its kind. The one that he carries secretly and doesn't quite know what to do with, but sort of set him off on his journey, is a scroll. An encoded scroll he can't read, pressed into his hands by one of the last heroes of the rebellion. Cool. We've reached the part of the prompts that you would do with other people. I don't know if I should answer these. How do you feel about the fact that I've decided you're my new parent? What went wrong the last time I dragged you along on a misadventure? What endearing nickname have you given me? What do I do that really, truly next level gets on your nerves? I feel like if I do end up doing this, oh god, sorry for the brightness jump scare, then whenever somebody else joins this party, because it would be cool to travel with another person at some point. I don't know if I would ever make it more than 2 or 3 of me playing all the characters. I feel like that could get too much. But, you know, if somebody joins, like a guardian joins, that would be cool. Because that would just make sense. Then we can answer the questions to the left and the right. But I just don't think... Yeah, I'm not going to answer them yet. We're skipping. We're going right to his playbook moves. Some things you can always do. Get distracted, get really invested in a new interest, blurt out a secret, somehow manage to squeeze yourself out of trouble, ask, do you want to hang out with me? They get a token if they say yes. And ask, do you want to see something really cool? They get a token if they say yes. I love all of those. Those are very funny. Very kid-coded. All right, here they are all written down. I feel like this is with how peaceful and calm this game is supposed to be, this is going to be my playing a child redemption arc. Because the last several times that I've played anybody young, they've either died or gotten grievously wounded. And they're both during one-shots. I played a kid who was like 13 or 14 in a Dread game who died. It was, oh my god, it was so upsetting. It was really upsetting. I wasn't expecting it to be as bad as it was. And then on a Kids on Bikes one shot, I played another kid who was again around 13, 14, maybe 12. He was one of the youngest kids in the group. And I think he fell he fell through like a rotten floor or something in an old abandoned house and got hurt. This is not going to happen to Roger. Roger's growing on me the more I say it. Roger, Roger. Roger, Roger. Roger, Roger. Oh, and then here's his advancements, which I'm just going to read through. Learn a new lesson or reject a lesson you previously learned. Okay, that's good. I feel like that's a great choice for the things that he can advance are the lessons. And if we need a little refresher, there they are. So you get to learn or reject a new lesson, learn another one, decide you're something no one thought you were, refuse to be something you once considered yourself to be. Should we look at those again? Those are these ones. So right now he's got what? He's smart and he is friendly. He refuses to be scared or quiet. Ooh. Refuse to be something you once considered yourself to be. Decide you're something no one thought you were. Dang. Ruin this kid's life. Sorry, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He's gonna be fine, I'm sure. I'm sure he'll be great. Get a token whenever you learn something new. That's nice. Spend a token to ask, why can't things be different? You can always ask, how did you do that? Oh, that's a cool one. Getting more inquisitive. You can always provide a new perspective, and then, of course, you have grown up and come into your own. Choose an unused playbook and transfer as much as makes sense from this playbook to that one. Cool. I'm switching over here because I feel like now is the time that I should I'm going to take a few minutes and pause and actually write out everything, and also maybe write up a little bit of a backstory. Maybe I'll pop in before I do that and just sort of talk through what I'm thinking. We'll see. Give me 1 second. Hey, I'll be right back. Popping back in. I think I'm going to roll on this generator to try and figure out who the veteran was, because I'm thinking about his backstory. And I know he lived in a city, and I think he just never really knew his parents, and at least according to him, it never bothered him much. I also think that the majority of the city's denizens would have taken care of him, but this person, this veteran, was somebody who really rised above and was like, this is my kid. I'm taking care of him. So let's see. A newt. We've got crafty. A crafty kid is very skilled at putting all the pieces together in an unconventional way. They're offered tinkers, mongers, magicians, among many. You can always propose an alternate approach. Confident. Confident kid knows exactly who they are and who they want to be. They're often blacksmiths, plumbers, drovers, among others. Jump headfirst into action, charge into a situation without understanding the risks. Sophia? Do I just take this first one? It actually fits pretty well. Let me save this real quick. And then we can roll again. And if I don't like what I'm seeing, we can just take Sophia. All right, let's try again. Bang. Rabina, poetic and proper. Boring. Leonard, quiet and quiet. Madly quiet. No. Okay. I think Sophia. That's a hero name. That's a badass hero name. Fought in the war. Sophia, the newt. One of the last heroes of the rebellion. Okay, cool. I just wanted to do that. I'm writing his backstory as we speak, but I just needed her name. Sophia. I'll be back. Again, I'll be back. I'll be back. I'm back, like I said I'd be. A couple seconds for you, but a lifetime for me. Nah, real simple. Here's Roger's little book. I think I already showed everything on here, but just in case I didn't. There it all is. The prompts and choices I've left blank. I'll probably just fill them in. You know, we went over everything. Pretty much everything that's important is I wrote it on here. And then his backstory, I just made it real simple. I haven't decided his city yet. I did fill out a thing for Sophia. So here's hers. Details deceased. But I just copied it from when I rolled for her. Nice and easy. I was thinking about giving her an extra trait, but confident pretty well fits, I think. So I did not. The other ones, there's ones that are adventurous, but adventurous is like one of the things that they can do is essentially the same thing as jump head first into action. So I was like, whatever. Yeah, this is her. She's dead. She was a hero of the rebellion, which was a secret. I'll read his backstory and then I'll explain some of the lore. Some things that I've decided, or some things that are lore accurate, the canon accurate to the setting. I'm pretty sure. It's kind of open-ended. Roger was raised in a small city in the south of Haeth. He never knew his parents, and it never bothered him much. At least that's what he told himself. Many of the town's denizens pitched in to make sure he was provided bare necessities like food and shelter when he asked for them. That is his one thing. His first thing about kindness is stronger than anything else sort of branched out from there. People were nice to him. It was a small town, so people were pretty nice. One kith in particular took a strong liking to Roger. Sophia, a blacksmith and former hero of the rebellion against the king of the floating mountain. Sophia secretly told Roger many stories about her time in the rebellion that happened not long ago. The setting is in a time of peace, but the rebellion happened pretty recently. It doesn't say, but the book implied that it was pretty recent. She showed him to stand up for what you believe in. That to stand up for what you believe in is very important, but you need the strength and intelligence to back it up, or you may fail, like the rebellion had. Again, Wanderhome, it just implies that the king of the floating mountain was a bad king, and they tried to overthrow him, and it ended up being pointless, and a bunch of people died seemingly for nothing. One night, Roger walked into Sophia's smith to see her on the ground. She'd been stabbed. By who? I don't know. I didn't think about it. Unable to speak and bleeding out, she grabbed him by the collar and put a carefully folded note in his hand. Roger ran for help, and it wasn't until after Sophia's burial rites had been performed that he opened the note. To his dismay, he couldn't understand what the paper said anyway. Roger decided that day he would strike out on his own to gather his own stories to tell, become his own hero, or at the very least decipher what Sophia's dying hands had pressed into his. Short and sweet. I didn't think about nearly anything. And I also don't have the location picked out at all where this city is, so I'm gonna look and see what would fit. I don't think Metropolis makes sense. These are supposed to be like big places. I think Market is a good possibility. These are all, I think, a little too naturey. There's a Port Road Tavern, And then these are all depressing ones. Let's look at, unless it was like a farming village. Swamp. He's from the swamp. He's just like me. Let's look at Market. Market is a place where near anything can be traded and bartered, and where people from across the Haeth gather with supplies to exchange. This place can always describe what you find, reveal the consequences of theft, offer someone something they want at an affordable price, give them a token if they refuse the offer. Livestock, foreign wares, confusing currencies, a familiar crafty merchant. You know what? Let's look at Metropolis. A place where a lot of people live and where many communities sit side by side. Describe the diversity and variety of people. Show conflict between different needs and worldviews. Tell someone they're lost and give them a token. More people than you ever met before. I just don't think it fits. A port. I'm pulling up my map. Canonically, I think I wanted a port to be somewhere around here or somewhere around here. That one. Nah, he's from the south. Let's see what port says. Describe ships and where they go. Show the dangers of a fragile lifestyle. Ask, can I take you somewhere you've never been before? I think a port would really make sense. For one, he's a frog. Or he's a toad. So water makes sense. Sophia's a newt, so that makes sense. And also Sophia had to get here somehow after fighting in the mountains. And truly the only way to do that would be, in any timely fashion, it would probably be by water. He's from a port. He's from a port village. Whoa. Oh, I need to come up with a name for it. Ooh, does this generate names? No. Okay, port. Oh, here's our place page. And as you can see, there's a big spot for a map and notes, which is cool. And then we'll figure out where it is on the map that I made, and I'll just put a little star next to it. So we need 3 natures. Pick aesthetic elements and folklore. Let's figure out what this place can always do. Oh, 3 different natures. Oh. Oh. Wait, huh? Does that make sense? So what's the actual nature? Whoa, so you're supposed to pick 3 and it's sort of like ebbs and flows. Oh boy, okay. So we've got port for 1. And then you pick, how many? Pick 2 aesthetic elements. Figure out what this place can always do, what animal folks are common here. Draw a picture of the place if you'd like, and record its name. Cool. Okay. Nature. Chunky barges, hot air balloons, whoa, jetties and docks, fidgeting hoppers, smug captains. I mean, obviously, we need jetties and docks. Sorry, I'm gonna have to find these natures and write the notes down. Where the hell? Port. So we've got jetty and docks. I don't know why I'm even doing this. No, I'm kidding. This is important. I want to get a good baseline of how to set up these places. It's just that when I start the game, this isn't the place that he's going to be playing in. I just need to get that disclaimer out there. This is the place that he's leaving. This is just to describe his home, where he grew up. And now he's out of here. An adventurous buddy you once wandered the world with doesn't make sense, but we could say like an adventurous little friend. Adventurous buddy you grew up with, we'll say that. And we'll make him up. Them. Maybe I'll roll for him. So there's 1. Nature. Do 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 do. Is there one that's like blacksmith? Furnace. Furnace. Where's that one? Oh, this is kind of hard to navigate. Furnace. Burns hot with the force of furious and creative fires. I think this makes sense just because Sophia was an important part of his life. So, yeah. A mighty smith with a burning grudge. Choose one folklore. I forgot the folklore for the other place. Brother. I'm just going to decide one more nature and then pause and on my own figure out the natures because I don't want to drag this on any longer than I need to. And I still need to figure out how to actually do all this. So let's think of one more. We've got port, furnace. We could do market. If it is a small town. In a port city, it would have a marketplace, reasonably. Trying to make sure I'm not missing some crazy opportunity, nature that would change everything, but I don't think so. Let's do market. I like the idea of him growing up in a marketplace. All right, I'm just gonna pick some folklores off of this list. It's just this PDF is really hard to navigate. But here is market again. All right, I'm going to decide the aesthetic elements and everything. I'll be right back. Again, seconds for you, but God, who knows how long it'll take for me. Shush. Back. We're so back. I'm tired. I'm tired. Look, I made a place. Wow. I did it. So the three natures, market, port, furnace. I can always, here's just a bunch of things. I think I fit everything that each place can do. I might have gotten rid of one, but everything else fit. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. I don't know. It's just describe what you can find at the market, reveal consequences of theft, offer what you want at a cheap price, and you get a token if you say no. Describe ships and where they're going. Show dangers of a fragile lifestyle. Say, can I take you where you've never been? And you get a token if you say yes. Describe the stifling heat of the furnace and the blacksmiths, because there's a lot of blacksmiths in this area. Raise tensions because of the intolerable conditions, and ask, will you forge what once was broken? And you get a +1 if you try. Notable kith is obviously Sophia and Sydney, she's down here. The aesthetic elements are confusing currencies, a bunch of different currencies. Jetties and docks. Sydney, who's an adventurous kid that he grew up with. And a legendary blade left unfinished. Who knows about that? Oh, I don't know. Sydney is here. I just sort of rolled on that table a couple times and combined a couple things. So obviously adventurous, and then her other trait is dramatic. So adventurous, you get declare where you're going next and charge headfirst into trouble. And dramatic, she can always distract someone with a talented display. I don't know what that means. She dances or something. And then I just said that her mom owns a fish stall in the market and her father is a fisherman. Blip, blip, going back. The folklore of this place is the headless spirit of the dockyard, which I figure is probably just, maybe it's real. Maybe that's one of the small and forgotten gods, or maybe it's just something they tell people they told, kids to scare them. Who knows? And the binding of the slobbering god. Does that have anything to do with the legendary blade that was left unfinished? Does that have anything to do with the note that Sophia gave to Roger? I don't know. Who knows? If he never goes back, maybe he'll never know either. The slobbering god also is, I don't know. It's something to do with related to the king in the mountains somehow. I don't exactly remember how, but I figure I won't have to even worry about this if he never comes back here. And then there's a place for a map And any notes, we're not doing that. What I am going to do is going to go to our actual map and figure out which hexagon this is. Oh, and I also need to name it. I was just sort of thinking Southport because it's in the south and it's a port. But I don't know which south to make it. I don't know if I should put it on this left side over here or the right side. If there's a lot of different currencies, then probably each of these islands uses a different one. Bugga. Do we get him sort of trapped by these mountains over here? And then if he ever wants to get around it, then he, like, you know, he has to go. Or do we put him over here where there's loads of different possibilities for, you know, there's a lake, there's mountains there, there's all kinds of stuff all over the place. Why is it lagging? Quit lagging. Oh. It's weird. It's not moving. Freaky. I'm going to bring it over here just in case it crashes. I think Southport is by these mountains. I think it is on the left side by the mountains. It's very secluded. I'm restarting this screen mirroring. It's not working out. Do. Come back. Come back to us. It's not coming back to us. Essentially, I'm putting it right here. Bloop, bloop. This is where he's from. Wow, it just fully crashed. It did. Interesting. Let me see what happens if I just open it up again. It doesn't matter. I think I'm pretty much done with it. Bonk. This is a really nice screen mirroring app for what it is. I didn't pay for it, and I always keep expecting a watermark to pop up, and it never really does. Well, now it's not starting at all. Oh, there it is. This doesn't even really matter, but bada boom. Okay, it's lagging too much. Oh my gosh, it's blurring now. Oh, there's the star. That's where he lives. And I believe that's all I needed my screen mirroring for. I think we're done. Just a tiny, truly a tiny, here he is. If he wants to explore the whole world. We'll see where he goes. Again, I do not know if I'm going to play through and record it at all, or if I'm just going to play. I don't know when I'm going to play because I got things going on. I don't know. But this was fun. I finally made a character. Roger, the frog. The toad. I haven't decided whether he's a frog or a toad or what. Yeah. That was fun. Classic, powered by the apocalypse. You love to see it. Proud of this guy. I'm trying to remember if there's anything I forgot. And I don't think there is. Like, I could set up the first season, which is probably spring. But why? Why would I? Because it's not like I'm setting up the first place that he's going to. I'm just establishing his background place. No, we're done. That's it. That's all. Clap. Everybody applaud. Oh, I'm tired now. It's only been an hour of recording, but all the pausing and trying to find where things are and writing everything down. And then the yapping. It's too much for me. It's too much for me. I'm out of here. What a fun game, though. It's not fighting. Combat is like whatever. Just a walking simulator, but fun. Walking and helping people. What more could you ask for? Wanderhome. Clap. Alright, that's it for me. That's me gone. That's me out of here. See you soon with more solo games. Maybe Wanderhome. Don't get your hopes up. Never get your hopes up. With me, always expect, not disappointment, but like vague, not doing what I said. Not in a bad way. Just in a, I don't always do what I say. Is what it is, man. Alright, I'm out of here. If anyone stumbled upon this, weird. Weird of you to be here. Okay. I'm kidding. I will see you soon. Good. Bye. Soon. Bye.